we have finally the Season 4 launch patch notes up, as Season 4 will be launching today, and there's going to become, I guess there are going to come a lot of changes, as you've probably seen from a lot of the other trailers. There's a new rebirth or a resurgence map coming, so, and they're adding a few stuff, so let's get right to it. All right, so here are the playlist for the upcoming weeks. As you can see, Fortune's Keep is pretty much gonna be a constant across the next, well, basically 5 weeks. So expect a lot of Fortune's Keep resurgence for that. They will have Rebirth Island coming back next week, so everyone freaking out about Rebirth is going away. It's not. It's still here, and it'll be coming back next week. All right, so don't worry. Caldera will obviously still be around, and they're adding something called Golden Plunder. Week 3, there will be Storage Town Clash, which I guess that'll be pretty cool. I'm assuming it's going to be exactly the same as Clash as they did it from the Verdansk. So I don't know what difference that's going to be. But at least Clash is coming in week 3 and week 4 so that we can level up the new guns, or if you don't have some other way of leveling them up. Anyways, all right, so during the week of July 21st, there will be a trial map rotation between Fortune Kings and Rebirth. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so that'll be like the last, towards the end of week 5. All right, anyway, so let's battle pass. Let's see what is coming up. So 100 tiers, 2 new free weapons. The Macro 5, a new SMG will probably be overpowered and has the Akimbo. A new LMG, so that'll probably get the same thing for all we know. 25 free items, blueprints, whatever. Battle Pass bundle includes 25 blah blah blah. This time it's 1,300 COD points. Are you freaking kidding me? I don't know about that. Usually it's just 1,000, so I don't know why they're charging more. Is it charging more? I don't even remember. Anyways. Okay, at the very least, they're increasing the progression of the battle pass by 10% for all players. So, assuming it actually works, because I've seen like people still have bugs where like their battle pass is not updating, and they're not retrofitting all the experience either, or retroactively filling it up. Anyways, so new events that will be coming through for Mercenaries of Fortune event. There's money bags, a challenge of 100,000 in gold. So I'm guessing the amount of money you get in gold is not going to be super easy. And then you get a rare venomous approval weapon sticker. Yay! Like who thinks of this stuff? It's like, hey, you get this crap that no one cares about. Challenge purchase 5. I mean, these are like, I guess, really simple stuff, because all you're getting is camo, reticles. It's not that hard. I'm guessing. I'm hoping. And then weapon charms and all this stuff. Whatever. Like, I never really care about those. A new mode, Golden Plunder. Player count will increase from 120 from 100 up to 120 from 100. Players drop more cash on death, and you're required to get 5 million. Okay, visit one of the manufactured ATM machines to earn additional money. Okay, whatever. Like, this is Plunder. And then for Fortune's Keep resurgence numbers, so it's 46 in solos, duos, 45 in trios, and then 40 in quads. So only 10 teams, which would be interesting. So you'll always be top 10. But how isn't Fortune's Keep supposed to be bigger? So I don't know how that's gonna work. Here's the new map that we're gonna be seeing. I think it looks, I don't know how, I don't really care about how it looks. But I mean, it's very interesting. It kind of doesn't really. It's a very interesting island. You have Grotto, Graveyard Town, Overlook, whatever that is, Smuggler's Cove. That's kind of cool. Lighthouse, camp, a bay, a keep. Did I just say that? And the terraces. I like, it's. I don't really know how to judge this right now because I haven't played it, but it'll be interesting to explore at the very beginning, just to see what it's like. But it's at least nice they're adding in new stuff. You know, it's keep it fresh. All right, brand new resurgent morale, blah blah blah. The town. Okay, this is just more stuff going into every area. The largest landmark is the keep, so it has a bunch of stuff in there. So it's probably going to be a maze in there. So probably want to get used to it. You know, get a little more familiar. Winery has a monastery. Yep, that's pretty much new. Okay. This new map also comes with different contracts such as cash extraction, black market supply run, and sequencer grenade. Okay, not bad, not bad. So, the stuff that I actually care more about is now the new caldera because there have been added like here you have storage town that they added where it's next to the village or whatever the heck this place. I don't remember what it's called. Yeah, next to village and ruins. So it's like right above. I don't. I'm trying to remember what was here previously. So that's Dick's site. I want to say this was just like open land. Like there wasn't much here. Like I think there was usually like a balloon up here. I want to say that there was a kind of like a temporary, not a temporary, but like a intermediary or like a smaller like version of ruins, but it was just like one little quad that was up here. So I think they took that out and put in storage town instead, but they added a bunch of new more buildings like around here. Like this is new. I forget there's another map on Reddit where they like kind of do a compare and contrast of the old versus new. So they added a lot more buildings. There's tons of less shrubbery. I don't know if we can tell from this position, but there's a lot less shrubbery and lot less foliage in the map itself. So there's gonna be so our line of sights are gonna be a lot better. So I think I dig that. There's still yellow circling all these like random spots on the map. So previously these were all the bunkers that they added, and it looks like it's still the same spot because this is still the one in the swamp area. I forget what it's called. It's still the same, and it looks like a lot of these are still the same areas where the bunker is. So I don't know if these reference to anything or they just left it in there. So updates. Okay, it goes open up the map a little cleaner sight line. So yep, so less foliage. It brings added value to field upgrades like deployable cover, true, and positional awareness and proximity landmarks of now being high priority. Yep. Main scenes such as sniper rebalance, the ghost movement change, and the addition of serpentine perk were made in preparation for season 4. Okay. So I guess because there's more better line of sights, you might want to run serpentine a little bit more because people can see you and you're going to be running across the map. Which also, I mean, they just need to put in more cover. Like people need to be able to go from cover to cover in certain areas and not just be like super open. Like this, like that's why I hate airfield. Like the runway is just too open. But I mean, it's a runway, it's supposed to be. But it's just, but it's so big that when people run across it, that is just super. I mean, it's not something different from airport from Verdansk, but it's just annoying. So new point of interest, storage town. Yes, we added that, and then we'll be dedicated clash. Cool. Micro POI, so little smaller points of interest are added to in order to fill the gaps, which there's so many of. And so there's offer more looting and engagement opportunities. I like this a lot because there's just not, because it seems like looting was just like, oh, you have to go to the major POIs, like with the exception of like the capital. There was like a little bit more micro POIs. Like you didn't have to go straight into capital. You can always like, loot the outskirts. But now I feel like adding more micro POIs is just a better deal. Mercenary Bunker, so we got to get a golden key card, which had to be looted. And then we can go into some of the hidden bunkers, and it's indicated on the new tech map with yellow circles. Okay, so these are going to be those bunkers that we can get into. So these are different bunkers from the ones that we just go underground with. I think these are going to be similar to the ones, because I've seen those like security gates around Caldera, similar to what we got in Verdansk, where you have to like open a gate, and then like there's like the one that's near Dam, like right under that village to the right of it, and in Verdansk where like you have to wait for the gate to open and it's like super slow, and there's only one way or an out. So I think that's what they're doing here. So arid vegetation across, so reduced it by 50%. So hopefully, so that's a significant reduction. So I'm like that. Uh-oh. With a positive response to the fighter plane returning on Operation Monarch. No one wanted this, dude. No one liked this. They were bugged. They like destroyed people. Like everyone hated this stuff. No, man. Oh, man. Jeez. Anyway, weapon trade stations have been added in various locations across Caldera that allows players to trade in their weapons for high value loot. I don't mind this because sometimes the ground loot is crap. So I do definitely want to trade it in for something. All right, new gameplay. Armored SUV. So it's the old SUV, but basically given beefed up in terms of health. And there's a spot where people can pop out of on the top but there's no turret. You use your own guns. So I like that. That's going to be a lot of more fun and a lot more. It definitely will like be easier to run around in a SUV instead of like having to always use a Bertha. EMP grenade, I think this will be interesting in terms of how that works. A new non-lethal grenade designed to primarily around counter vehicle play, so only disrupt vehicles. So, but does the trophy still negate it? Because if it does, then that sucks. The disrupts enemy electronics and removes HUD for 6 seconds. That's pretty good. These effects can be reduced via battle hardened perk. Okay. Deactivates veto and gives it for 10 seconds. So, I mean, 10 seconds is a long time. I mean, if you think about it, if you actually count 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, like, you get the idea. Like, if you deactivate for 10 seconds, you can get a heck, like, you can't wait for the car to come back and then get the heck out of there. You're gonna have to get out and fight your way out of that one. Broken ATMs. What? Players can choose to visit broken ATMs around the map for guaranteed source of. Oh, I like that. Funds periodically spawn near broken ATMs up to a maximum cap if left unlooted. Oh, I like this. So this is gonna be good for because you don't have to wait. You don't have to wait for restocks. You don't have to kill someone and hope to God that they have something to drop. Now you can just go to these broken ATMs and hopefully there's going to be some money there, so you can buy back your friends or like buy other stuff and whatnot. So that's cool. Portable redeploy balloon. Sorry, I can't talk this morning. I think that's a great idea because now you can pop one out wherever and get the heck out of wherever you are. I think that's awesome. Hopefully, though, they're easier to destroy than the current redeploy balloons because, in case someone pops it down, you don't have to unload like 4 magazines into it and you can just unload maybe half as much, and then you destroy the balloon before someone can take it and leave. That'll be kind of fun, assuming that's like quality of life changes. Okay, loadout crate UI selection. The in-game loadout crate UI selection will always start at the top of the list. Oh, I see. So we saw frequent instances of players selecting undesired loadouts due to the cursor remembering previous selections. Okay, so I think this is more about controller players than it is about mouse and keyboard, because I'm always, I don't have to worry about that. But I guess like if, out of the 10 loadouts, if you always choose number 5, but maybe on the next loadout you want to choose, number 8 instead of, and like a lot of players go by muscle memory, so they're like, okay, like I'm gonna push up or down a certain amount of times and then like to grab the loadouts quickly. So if it always stays at number 5, you're gonna have to count from there versus at the top. So So in this case, it's always going to be top of the list. So you either, if you want to choose loadout number 10, you push up one, so you go to number 10. And so you ever are going to be only 5 or 6 taps away from the loadout you want, which is, I think, is great improvement. I'm guessing that this is not going to affect mouse and keyboard players, unless they auto put the key, like my mouse cursor, on the last loadout, which would be stupid if they did. But I've never had that issue. Gas mask animation. The brake animation will no longer interrupt parachuting when falling. Thank you. This has been updated to align with the previous update to the removal animation. Yeah. I feel like the gas mask should still be a thing that I have to toggle. That's what I want. That way I can tank gas a little longer without having to ADS. Buy station menu option added to the settings menu, allowing players to enable the ability to remain in the buy station menu when making multiple purchases. Oh, yes. Oh my goodness. This is such a good idea, because I hate, because when I'm buying back my team, like if I'm like the last alive and I have to go buy back 3 people, I hate having to go into the menu every single time. I can now just click, 3 times and get them all back. So this is a huge move. Player own inventory will be indicated next to items and brackets. Okay, so basically, if I already own something, they will tell me if I already have it. So I don't buy more than one. So if I don't have to buy more than one gas mask, or if I don't accidentally to. We want to enable more advanced players to opportunity to remain in buy station. Okay, this is great. Deplorable buy station. Deployable will now live for longer in the gas to keep it consistent. All right. Fire sale public event. Self revive will now have a small associated. I don't think that's a good idea. It should just still be free. It should just still be free. Loadout drop markers will now receive a discount. Okay, I'm okay with that. Infill POI text. We have updated both the font and color of the default infill point of interest text to improve the visibility of high value loot zones. All right. Out of bounds timer increased to 10 seconds. Ooh, that would be interesting. That's pretty interesting, because there's certain areas of the map where a person could do, like, take up to 8 to 9 seconds to flank a team, because like, oh, it's out of bounds. Like, I'm okay, I'm gonna hug it. But then they come around and it's like, boom, mother effer, and then like takes them out. So this ought to be interesting. But also 5 seconds was like way too short, because sometimes, like, especially if you're like parachuting down and sometimes the wind takes you and like you can't correct your course quickly enough, then you're just automatically killed because of those situations. It's like super annoying. Gulag audio. Spectators now have muted footstep audio for players who are fighting in the new hold. Oh, thank you. Like, why wasn't that already a thing where people on the rafters and the catwalks, why wasn't it those footsteps like already muted or just non-existent up there? Like, why was it even up there? I mean, granted, sometimes it was like kind of smart, because you would like just like tell your friends to be like, hey, like, one of you look, and then like another one of you just keep running around like a madman up there to confuse the enemy. But how often was that really going to happen? But that could have been a thing, but now it's not a thing at all, thank God. And I can just hear, well, hopefully they fix the footsteps again to be more audible, because arguably sometimes it's still kind of bad. Redeploy positioning. Players will redeploy via Gulag victory or are brought back will now spawn in a close proximity to their squad or loadout. This was previously, there's still issues with this, like, because like I think they put in something with the code where it's like, if I buy back my teammate, and the gas is coming in and it's within like a certain amount of meters, it will still spawn me on the other side of the map within the gas, which I'm okay with it being spawned in with not with or they'll spawn me on the other side of the map, but like within the circle. I mean, not within the gas, within the circle. Like, and I don't mind being spawned in the circle, but put me at a point where it's the closest to my team at the very least. Like, don't put me on the other side of the map, and now it's like, oh crap, especially if like, we went through a firefight just now, and it's like, oh, I want to go back, and then my team won that firefight, and I want to go back and get my gear. It's like, oh wait, you're now like 1,500 meters away from them and you're spawning on this side. It's like, what the crap, dude? I can't get back there in time. I should be spawning within a certain amount of meters from them. So hopefully they fix that part too. And hopefully this doesn't also mess it up where it's like if my buddy buys me back, like, say he goes to a buy station that's in the gas and they buy me back near it, they doesn't just spawn me next to the load or the buy station. I don't think that will happen, but you never know because I feel like with Raven, you just never know what they break. All right. Ground loot perks. We've been delighted with the response to the ground loot and have out on the following as the rarest drop rate. So Ghost, Combat Scout, Double Time, Cold Blooded, and Amped. Yes. I've been debating whether or not I should add this back into my loadouts in general, but I'm glad they're throwing this into ground loot perks. Granted, it's super rare, or at least that's what they say. At least it's an option. Okay, perk adjustments. Battle hardened. Stun and flash resistance increased up to 70%, up from 40. So now battle hardened is gonna be a lot more useful in terms of base. I mean, at this point, it's barely gonna affect them at 70% because even at 40, it was like pretty good, and now 70 is gonna be even better. So now people are gonna be. I think a lot more people are going to be rocking battle hardened because now it's going to be, they're not going to be as affected by stuns and flashes anymore, which kind of like basically reduces like the stuns and flashes by a lot. Like you're by buffing this, you're nerfing this only when these two combinations are together. But we'll see how that goes. Scavenger awards an additional $500 in the scavenger pouch. I like this. That's added to it. Hardline provides a 25% discount on all buy. Oh, ooh. So now, if someone has Hardline, it's going to be 7,500 instead of 10K. That's good. That's good. I like that. We felt that given the inherent nature of the perk, yeah, I think that's a good idea. Especially if someone picks up Hardline, like, because then you give that guy all the money and he buys everything. Previous adjustments. This work was completed during season 3, but listed here for comprehensiveness. Whatever. Tactical equipment, snapshot grenade radius decreased from 22 to 22 meters, down from 27.4 meters. All right. Almost 20%. So new weapons. The UGM-8. The macro, that's going to be freaking nuts. How to unlock them. Earn turn. Wait, what? Earn turn single shot eliminations in 15 matches. Excuse me? I don't know. Anyways, okay. Weapon adjustments. This is what I'm waiting for. All right. Sorry, this video is gonna be a little long. But it's a AK-47 Black Ops. The sustained recoil slightly increased, so you're gonna nerf the AK again. Okay, whatever. AS-44 increased standfire hip. Okay, whatever. Horizontal increased to minus 25, up from 30%. So you're kind of nerfing the Falchion A or whatever. I think that's the bayonet. I'm not sure. And then vertical increase now increased by 12%. Was anyone even using the AS-44? Why are they nerfing it so much? Recoil control increased to -22, up from damage bonus removed. Damage range increased to 30% from 20. And then muscle velocity increase from 20%. Okay. Damage penalty removed. So they're buffing and nerfing a little bit of the AS-44, even though no one even used it. Ah, damn it. I have to look up the friggin'. Sorry. I'm going to have to look up the Vanguard weapon code names, which I already have. I don't know why he can't just tell me the names every single time. Charlie, okay, it's the BAR. Muscle velocity increased by 3.4%. Okay. Neck damage multiplier increased from 1.25 to 1.11. Oh. Okay. Recoil control decreased a little bit on the CGC 30-inch. Visual work recoil increased. Okay. The Chariot Rapid recoil decrease. Oh. Recentering speed increase. What the heck? Visual recoil decrease. Ooh, this ought to be interesting. Okay, and then the magazines, the 40 round muzzle velocity decreased to 12% from 20. The 60 round mag, muscle velocity is decreased. Movement speed is decreased, and damage range is increased. Okay. And then there's the 8mm Klauser 40 round mag, and then the muzzle velocity is increased. Damage range is increased. Not bad. Rate of fire multiplier bonus now decreased. Okay, not from 219 from 21, and then recoil control decrease as well. So there's actually balancing to the BAR, which is not a big deal. Remove stock. Okay, that's cool. Cooper. See, look, I don't know why they did do this. Alpha Rifle Charlie, and then let me just call this, and let me just give the normal name, Cooper Carbine here. Like, just give me the right name, like that people know it from. Don't give me the stupid co names. God. Anyway, sorry, I just keep ranting about that. Recoil intensity adjusted to account for less reliance on tight grip. All right. So max damage is increased to 25, up from 24. Minimum damage increased to 22. So they buffed the Cooper a little bit here. The Gracie Rapid. They're buffing this a little bit. Upper torso damage penalty removed. Horizontal penalty decreased. Okay, so they buffed the Gracie Rapid as well. Tight grip. Recoil control provided by tight grip has been decreased. Okay, so they nerfed the tight grip perk, so now I can use something else probably. Compressed rounds. I don't think anyone even uses this, so it doesn't really matter. I don't think. And they nerfed it. So now no one will be using this, if at all. At least not in Warzone. That's for sure. Okay, Assault Rifle Bravo. What the hell is that? The Itra Burst. Muzzle velocity increased by 11%. Okay. Upper torso damage multiplier increase. Okay. I don't think anyone's still going to use it as like a normal loadout weapon, but at least if you get it in the gulag and you come back with it, you're a little bit more viable, or you're a little bit more competitive to someone with the loadout or something. Next, Nikita. So max damage increased to 26 from 23. Okay, they buffed that. Move speed scale increased. Okay, buffed that a little bit too. So the 7.62 50 round mag movement speed modifier removed. I don't know. Is that good or bad? Reload quickness penalty added. Okay. 60 round mag movement speed modifier removed. Reload. So basic. Okay. Reload quickness penalty slightly increased. So they buffed the damage, but they kind of. Sorry, got distracted. So they buffed the damage, but nerfed the magazines a little bit. All right. No one's going to be. I don't think anyone's going to be using the Nikita, or at least like using it to, as a new loadout. KGM40. So let's see. Min damage increased to 26 from 24. Ooh, that's going to be interesting. So they buffed the damage on the minimum damage on this. The recoil intensity adjusted to account for less reliance on tight grip. Same thing. So basically, tight grip will be like a perk that they're trying to move people to not use anymore. So it looks like so muscle velocity increased to minus 10% up from negative 20. I'm not sure exactly what that means. So only takes away 10% as to before it took away 20%. So that's a buff, right? Yeah, I think so. Recoil penalty has been removed. Yeah, global damage increase. Damage range increased. Okay, so they're buffing the hell out of the 40 round mag, it seems like. VDD 500 millimeter. I think this is the barrel. Muscle velocity increased. Vertical recoil control increased. Holy crap. So this is going to be super accurate now. Then damage range increase. Whoa. So is the 700 millimeter. Yikes. The burst damage range increase, velocity increase, rate of fire increase. Yikes. Burst fire control decreased. Oh snap. They're trying to buff the KG. It seems like the hell out of it. Yeah, they're pretty much. I mean, you want to read through all this. Like fire rate, decrease a little bit here. So this one is a little bit different. But there seems like they're buffing a lot of this, arguably. So that'll be interesting. All right, the Fafar Black Ops max range increase from 28. Okay, so they buff the Fafar a little bit on this. I don't think this is going to bring it back or anything. So whatever. All right, NZ41, the current meta. Let's see what they do. Initial firing recoil control increased to 30% up from 20, so they nerfed that a little bit. Or at least the burst barrel sustained recoil control decreased. So basically the auto fire. I think they're trying to nerf the auto fire when people use the burst. Burst fire control decreased. Burst fire now supports auto burst mode. Hold to fire. Oh shit! To continue firing and burst. So now you don't have to keep clicking or keep pulling the trigger to fire burst. You can just hold down your button and it'll just keep bursting for you. Interesting. That might arguably take away or like negate the fact that you need to turn it to full auto. Maybe. Muzzle velocity now increased by 40% on the Orb 360 millimeter. Interesting. Did not go live at the time. Oh, interesting. The custom visual recoil decrease, horizontal recoil control increase. So they buffed this a little bit. Ravenwood 488 millimeter. The ADS initial recoil increase, hip fire initial recoil increase. So they nerfed this a little bit. 50 round mag, vertical control decrease. So they're nerfing this again too. The visual coils increase. So if you have the 50 round mag, it's going to be nerfed a little bit. And then the sustained fire control for the MK3 attachment has also been buffed or nerfed a bit. Well, so they nerfed the NC41 a little bit. They might not have nerfed it enough so that it's now you go back to the STG or something, but they did nerf it a bit. So we'll see how it actually affects. But basically, right now it's like a beam. It's the meta. So we'll see how much it actually affects the NZ41. Okay, assault rifle alpha. That's the STG. Let's see what they do. Min damage decrease to 28 to 29, so they nerfed that a little bit. Muzzle velocity decreased. Okay. Head locational damage multiplier decreased, and then neck locational multiplier. So they nerfed the STG overall. They also nerfing the 50 round mag. The vertical control decreased from 24 to 29. Holy crap. And then even horizontal. So yeah, the 50 round mag got nerfed by a ton. The 760 millimeter barrel looks like muzzle velocity got nerfed, damage range got nerfed, visual recoil got increased, so that got nerfed as well. And the 60 round drum movement speed decreased. So STG in general also got nerfed by a lot. Don't know why. The Vargo 52 muzzle velocity increased, so this got buffed a little bit. Decrease. Is that the ADS time? I'm not even sure what the, or like, when you bring it out. I'm not even sure what that is. Looks like this got buffed a little bit, because the barrels got buffed a little. So partially rolling back some of the recoil adjustments made to the Vargo earlier this year. This result will be easy to control and filling in the use of effective AR. Okay. The Volkssturmgewehr visual recoil decrease, and that was it. Okay, they're finally increasing the damage. What the hell is inner damage? No wonder we couldn't down people with launchers before, because like it at max it only did 250, and that was like, but like what is the radius of inner damage, because like the problem is that sometimes, I mean, I've seen people launch a rocket launcher in a small room against somebody and it doesn't down them, even though that should, like, it should be it should be the equivalent to sticking with someone, it should be an instant down, like, but now it's inner damage is 275, but what is the radius on that? Like, it seems to be like, 2 inches from a freaking from an enemy. So what's the point? So now it's 275. You still won't down someone with one shot, but you'll bring them down to basically nothing. So you can like shoot somebody, if you hit their feet, take out 275, and then, you switch to another weapon, and hopefully you can down them like with 1 or 2 bullets, right? Or with 1 bullet, ideally. So that's with all the. Sorry. That's with all the launchers. So they're all been buffed in some shape or form. Some of these aren't even buffed that much, but at least all of them, all the launchers have been buffed in some shape or form, minus the Joker. Or, well, they've all been buffed, but like the Joker is still only doing up to 175. So, I mean, this is good, but also they need to address the radius issues. Okay, LMGs, the Whitley Vanguard. Looks like they buffed this one by a lot. Min and max damage, the overall range, muzzle velocity also increased. And so the Whitley might be a better contender now. The DP27 muzzle velocity increased. Damn. What's light machine gun Charlie? This is the Bren, so muzzle velocity increased as well. So they're giving a little bit of buff to the Bren. So, but it's still not that much better from when they nerfed it. So I'm gonna make a big deal. MG42 recoil intensity adjusted to account for less resilience on tight grip, or not resilience, reliance on tight grip. No one was even really using the MG42. The max damage got increased. Min damage is going to be increased. ADS transition in time has been increased. Transition out increased. Okay, muzzle velocity. Man, I don't know about that. Muzzle velocity increased. So they buffed and nerfed the MG42 a little bit, but no one was really using it anyway. So I don't really know why they did all this work on some of these guns when the usage of it was so low. And they buffed a little bit more on it, but I don't know if it's buffed enough for a bit to be an actual, like, good use of a gun. Marksman Rifles flinch has been decreased. Okay, whatever. M1 Garand upper torso damage multiplier increase. Ooh, by a lot, by almost 20%. And then neck multiplier also by 20%. So, oh man, this better not making like the new DMR or something. That would be freaking annoying. The SVT, so this multiplier also got increased as well. So they're trying to make marksman rifles a little bit more, a little bit more viable, because arguably right now as ground loot, they're just terrible. So hopefully this can give you a little bit more power, so that if you go against, if you have to pick it up for ground loot, it's at least a little bit more competitive. Crossbow, whoa. Bolt velocity increased by 27%. Holy nutcracker. Okay. R1 Shadow Hunter, I think that's another crossbow from Black Ops. That also got buffed. Interesting. Okay. Melee weapons were often falling short of a straight up engagement in CQC. In addition, their movement speeds were no longer competitive. Some of the faster, more aggressive weapon builds. As a result, many weapons will have had their swing time, the time it takes to swing the weapon in succession, movement adjusted positively. Ooh, the katana. Swing time interrupt delay decreased. Oh man, by almost, that's like 38% right there. Movement speed increased and lunge distance decreased. Okay. So you swing faster, but you don't lunge as far, which is whatever. Like, I mean, I don't think anyone really uses the katana, so whatever. Sawtooth, that's interesting. The skull crusher. So a lot of these are basically the swing time have been decreased by a lot. Look, damn, holy crap! This was reduced by 67%. Oh my goodness. Ice axe also decreased. Sledgehammers, wakizashi. Only the movement scale was increased. So a lot of these, yeah, they. No. The Cali sticks did not need a buff. They were already annoying as F. Now you're increasing the damage to 90 up from 65. So basically, someone will only need to hit you at max 4 times which is like beep 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 beep, and then you're done. Like dude, the Cali sticks have been buffed way too much. Hits to execute decreased to 3 down from 4. 3 hits? Are you kidding me? Movement speed scale increase. Dude, Cali Sticks got a huge buff. Are you kidding me? This is a bad idea. They were already like, kind of ridiculous. Now they're going to be even more ridiculous. So, man, that's just not cool. Not cool at all. Handguns, I can honestly care less about. Looks like, but they're nerfing the AMP-63. None of these are going to really make a matter difference. Okay, submachine guns. Okay, let's go into SMGs. So they're buffing the Armor Guerra again, and pretty significantly too. So it looks like they're increasing the overall max damage and the range. Oh no, wait, the range is decreased. Sorry. And then the attachments come with a variation of nerfs and buffs, but nothing too crazy that I can see right off the top. I don't even use the Armor Guerra, so I mean, I might not really care all that much. The Armor Guerra currently feels a jack of all trades, where it doesn't particularly excel at any one thing. While this is identity we want to enforce, we want to make some adjustment to ensure that within max damage range, it performs more consistently and less likely to lose a close range gunfight. Okay. So they do buff this a little bit, but they did a good balancing of this. They did do a great amount of buffing and nerfing the Armor Guerra, so that's good. Okay, the Blixen. Mid damage decreased 34 from 35. I don't know, man. That makes a huge difference. Movement speed scalar decrease. ADS speed scalar decrease. So they nerfed it a little bit. The Johnson 9-inch RMK muzzle velocity increased by 20%. Okay. Muzzle velocity now decreased on the Carlson 17-inch. No one was using that. The Magnus 9-inch velocity is increased by 30%. Okay. Now recoil control's been decreased, and then the 54 round mag multiplier decrease. Okay. um, made a pretty impressive statement. That's an understatement if I ever heard one. When it first launched, and we've seen its adoption rate higher than any mid-season weapon. This is largely due to the overall effectiveness of the weapon. This update slightly adjusts the damage profile and overall mobility. Okay, where the weapon has been performing. So they did nerf it a little bit. I don't think they nerfed it enough so that it's like, you know, where another SMG will come back unless they buffed it. Okay, something keeps texting. Okay. Um, Mac 10, the Black Ops Cold War Mac 10 looks like they got a little bit of a buff from it, so this might be a little bit more viable now, which I'm totally fine with because I like the Mac 10. Owen gun looks like upper torso damage multiplier decreased to 25%, down from 45. Oh my goodness, they nerfed the hell out of the Owen gun with that one, and then did a bit of balancing for the 108 millimeter shrouded. Arguably, they increased the damage range but nerfed the multiplier. All right, I mean, down to 1 from 1.034. Like, is that gonna make huge difference? Like, honestly, there's basically no multiplier. PPSH gonna be recoil intensity slightly decreased, so it's gonna be a little bit less crazy or a little less recoily. So they did buff the PPSH a little bit. Then they increased the both min and max damage, mid damage too. Well, so they buffed the hell out of the Sten. So this might be a lot more contender now. Type 100, the lower extremities multiplier is decreased, so it's not gonna hit the legs as crazy. And the rapid barrel, they increase the recoil and decrease the fire rate. So they nerfed the Type 100 a bit. Well gun, they also nerfed a bit. And then sniper rifles. Okay, the following aggressive snipers now adopt the lowest tier of flinch. These utilize the flinch settings that previously only the Marksman Rifle Charlie of Modern Warfare and the Swiss K31 had access to. In addition, we made a slight reduction of flinch at this tier. Okay, so I don't know which one that is. By the way, so the SPR, the Swiss, the Pellington, the LW. Okay, all these have less flinch now. And then flinch has been decreased by 12% on all heavy snipers. So your HDRs and whatnot. So that's good. What's the anti-tank rifle? Right? Oh, these are all the Vanguard snipers. So they did a good amount of. It's kind of this good amount of balancing. There's so much here, like I can't even read it all in time. Yeah, so they did a good amount of balancing, but no one was really using the anti-tank rifle anyways. The 3-line looks like they're trying to buff it a little bit with the ADS speeds. But they didn't really do much else. That's about it. Tactical rifle chart. Oh, that's a. Yeah, like these things like are not that great. Like, you know, they didn't really do much with the snipers. So we give it less flinch. Okay. Update most universal tangents to bring more options to players. All right. MX Silencer, vertical recoil control decreased to 4%, down from 5%. So the MX Silencer has been nerfed a little bit. G2A compensator, flinch resistance increased. Flash hider decreased. Time to ADS decreased. So that's got buffed. The muzzle brake got buffed. So, I mean, I think most people are still going to be rocking the MX silencer. So, or at least the other silencer at the very least. Underbarrels. Hits to execute increased to 2, up from 1. Oh, thank God. Not that I ever got killed by this, but I think that's good news for other people who just don't get like one hit stabbed out of nowhere. Let's see what else. Looks like they did a bunch of balancing between some of the other underbarrels, but the 1915 steady gun movement has been decreased. Hip fire accuracy increase, and horizontal vertical recoil now increased to 2%. Okay, not too big a deal. Grips, okay, flinch resistance decrease to 50% down from 95. Oh, polymer might have been nerfed like a mother effer. So it looks like we're going to have to use something else instead. Might be the hatch grip now, because vertical recoil control now increased to 2.5%, flinch resistant, and horizontal recoil control. So hatch grip might be the place to go now. Damn. They nerfed the hell out of the polymer grip. Okay. Bug fixes. Okay, improved rendering performance on consoles. What about PC? I'm getting issues. Fix an issue where Vanguard weapons could not receive any rotational flinch. Okay. Issues preventing two successive claymores downing a player. Yes. Fixed an issue with post Vanguard weapons. Okay, camos, whatever's. There's a lot of these bugs where I might not even care about. And then there's a bunch of known issues as well, which is on the Trello board. Sizes looks like it's going to be 23 gigs. That's not too bad. And that's it. So if you guys want to look at this yourself, I'll link the blog post on my description below. But there's a lot to go through. Sorry I didn't go through all of it, but it's just way too much. But overall, there was a good balancing to Vanguard weapons, but overall they didn't nerf anything. Like I think, there were some nerfs there, but I think they're still trying to keep most of the Vanguard weapons as the main metas, and they buffed a little bit of Black Ops weapons, but not really. So everything is really still going to be Vanguard for the as far as we know for the foreseeable future. So we'll see how the things I think to really look out for will be just to how well initially broken the two new weapons will be, because I think they're just going to be freaking insane, especially when the SMG has akimbo. So we'll see what happens there. People are gonna complain like crazy about that. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it. And let me know what you guys think of Mercenaries of Fortune. And I'll see you guys online. All right, take it easy.